You know, lately a nigga been fighting a whole lot of demons. A lot of shit we do gonna have consequences, but we gotta be ready for them. Emergency, I just got out of surgery. I'm having problems with my heart and it won't work. I did some shit in my past and it's cursing me. I'ma stay right here. So this blood gonna take breath from me. I'm sipping this Henny, this pain, but it ain't helping. My little nigga going against the grain and that shit stressing me. I pray to God that God have mercy. I'm living a crazy life. I just shot at a nigga from talking some shit on the game and paid the price. I was young and the rest for the money, my hunger for paper. He saved my life. And that shit can save life. If you wanna lick shit, we can get rich shit, we can get paid tonight. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down, down, down. You gonna do anything to get it, but when you gonna go out? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. You killed the nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Fight my demons, so many demons. It's me against these demons. Fight my demons, fighting mine. It's me against these demons. Whoa, I'm fighting these demons up in this ghost. I'm fighting these demons up in the ropes. I'm getting the beam, get hit in the spleen. That money be clean, ain't looking so mean. I remember they mad, gave him the ball. My niggas follow me like the Pope. I stand on my word and stay by the consequence. They say I'm hard, this space for the compliment. I sing it dead, homie, other company. DMG gang, and bitch, you ain't competent. Don't wanna hear that shit. I gotta kill this shit, lethally militant. I can get ignorant, we not considerate. Niggas do silly shit, we get the drilling shit. You see innocent. Don't give a fuck about bystander. I can pull up in the hot ladder. Don't take no slander. Don't take no slander. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down, down, down. 187. You killed the nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Fight my demons, fight my demons. Me against these demons. Fight my demons. It's me against these demons. Hey, what's good? What's good? TikTok, YouTube, what's going on? Let's get into the lesson of the day before we start giving our blessings away. All right. So today we're going to talk about the ascension process. What is the awakening? What is all of this stuff, right? What are they talking about when they talk about old knowledge, when they talk about old times, Egyptian mythology, hieroglyphics, stuff like that? What is the awakening, right? What is a spiritual awakening? Let's listen first and then we'll discuss.
Spiritual awakening is a simultaneous increase of expanding consciousness that occurs when our spiritual energetic bodies connect into our physical bodies. Generally, the catalyst for spiritual awakening is discovered through the process of progressive Kundalini activation that starts in the base of our spine and moves the intelligent energies up the spine and into the crown. As a human being undergoes the awakening process, which can progress gradually over many years, that person shifts into perceptions of higher consciousness, which can include increased awareness of energy in the environment, perceiving multidimensional realities, sensing extradimensional entities, and feeling a direct communion with God and the interconnected energy that exists between all things.
All right, so the ascension process is an expansion of your consciousness that allows your Kundalini energy, which is at the base of your spine, to move up your spinal cord towards your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head. And this fluid, secret secretion river that runs upward. It moves from the base of your spine. It is considered to be the serpent that was punished to coil or crawl on its belly. So the Kundalini is the serpent that is coiled at the base of your spine. It is no longer punished. So inside of us, we have a consciousness. And because we did something bad in a previous life, our consciousness was trapped. Our Kundalini energy is responsible for an expansion of consciousness. So we were punished, right? We were trapped inside the vessel. We were punished. Our consciousness is that serpent that was punished to crawl on its belly at the base of your spine. Now that that punishment is over, your Kundalini energy is rising. So now it is no longer coiled at the base of the spine, stuck in your root chakra. It is actually moving up the base of your spine. And you're going to have to deal with the chakras that this energy passes. So when it goes to your sacral chakra, you got to deal with all your guilty pleasures. When it goes to your heart chakra, you got to deal with your regret, your revenge, your envy, everything that troubled you with these titles and stuff. When it comes to your truth chakra or your throat chakra, you got to be able to speak, stand on what you know. We're in a time of knowing. You got to stand on that. When it comes to your third eye chakra, you have to be knowledgeable. Your third eye chakra is where you put all your knowledge at. This is why the Bible says, through the sweat of the brow, because your third eye chakra used to be called your brow chakra. If you look it up, it used to be called your brow chakra. So by the sweat of your brow, that determines if a man works, eat, whatever the case may be, according to the biblical text. So a man should get paid by the sweat of his brow. That means his intellectual properties. That means his thinking process, right? Your dubla oblongata, right behind your ear, where your thought is at, right? So according to the ascension process, this is an expansion of consciousness. When you go through an awakening, it means your consciousness is expanding, right? You're coming into a realization of a consciousness, and then that consciousness is expanding, right? Let's keep listening.
This is a basic primer to review the basic meaning and mechanics of the ascension and discuss the various awakening symptoms that we as humans may encounter in our evolution process. We have compiled many articles and tools on this website that will help support your personal awakening process and to gain awareness to investigate and explore the impacts awakening has upon human beings, our planet, and all of consciousness.
You see that? The awakening connects us with the planet and all consciousness. Once you are connected to that consciousness, you're connected to all things, right? And when you are connected to all things, all of these consciousness press in on you. So you start getting pieces of fragments of memories from times past, different things of that notion, right? Now, for the people that's on TikTok, y'all know what we need to do on TikTok. We need to share the live. We need to tap the screen, and we need to build the room up. So if y'all could, please help me by sending some shares out. I need at least 20 shares sent out. I know it's not enough people in here, but the moment one person starts sharing, putting it on their For You page or whatever, is the moment the room starts. And you guys can test it right now. All you guys got to do is tap the screen or share the live, and we'll get a boost of numbers in here. So if you can do that for me, that would be greatly appreciated. Well, we're going to keep learning. We're going to keep studying, and then later on we'll go play the game. You know, I was always taught that there's a time and a place for everything. So in this time, good day to you too. Hope at this time we are going to get our knowledge out the way in the AM, and then by the time 12 o'clock hit, we'll be on playing the game, so on and so forth. So we get the study and the learning and everything out the way. Then later on, we game and we chill and we kick it, listen to music, so on and so forth, because we're multi-dimensional beings. It tells you right here that you are perceiving you are perceiving multiple realities right now. It tells you that. Listen.
Person shifts into perceptions of higher consciousness, which can include increased awareness of energy in the environment, perceiving multidimensional realities, sensing extra-dimensional entities, and feeling a direct communion with God and the interconnected energy that exists between all things.
Perceiving multi-dimensional realities, perceiving multiple dimensional realities, feeling and sensing extra dimensional entities around you, right? This is when you are connected to your consciousness, connected to your spirit, right? You know, our parents had a saying back in the day. They say, if you only knew what blew in the wind. That's what my parents used to say back in the day. If you only knew, my grandma used to say, boy, if you only knew what blew in the wind. I never really knew what she meant by that. She said, if you only knew what blew in the wind.
Humanity is undergoing a consciousness shift or awakening, which requires a re-education of values and priority, of which much of this information on this website is a guideline to support those awakening and guided to leadership through the transitional impacts this creates on the planet. It is also important to share this information in order to not feel a sense of isolation and fear from a myriad of possible unusual experiences that can result from the integration of our higher light energy bodies that happens during our ascension process. My desire to share this information comes from my very personal and frightening physical awakening process that dismantled my entire reality and ego in a very short period of time. I share my experiences with anyone who may need this information, as I have had many unusual, mystical manifestations appear in my life since my spontaneous Kundalini release several years ago. Those of us undergoing the first wave of awakening will be ascension guides for the balance of humanity who have not yet experienced a direct awakening or extra-dimensional contact. This website is dedicated to those awakening starseeds that have the spiritual mission to evolve on the earth as guardian stewards in order to help participate and build the required consciousness structures this planet and humanity will require in the coming age.
See? We're in the age of Aquarius. A lot of starseeds are awakening inside the vessels of mankind. So a lot of you guys are awakening to a greater understanding of yourself, but the world that we live in practice duality, so they're keeping you confused in your own awakening. They're keeping you confused in your own awakening. So what they're doing is they're keeping pressure on your soul. Basically, you are awakening to your true self. You're realizing that you're kind, you're loving. So what they do is they add more trials and tribulations. They add more traumas to your situation. When you awaken, things don't get easier in the physical. If you stay unconscious, then life might seem easier for you. Life might seem to come at you. Things might seem, but if you awaken, things get harder for you in the physical world. If you awaken and you realize your true soul's purpose, right? The physical world becomes harder. It seems like people know that you're trying to do better and they try to make you do worse. It's like people realize that you're awakened to your true essence, and then they too tries to attack the essence of you. So they'll try to tear you down, tell you that you're wrong, tell you that you're narcissistic, all this other stuff. These are the attacks that they'll make to assassinate your character. Really, these are fraudulent people. The people who keep on misconstruing facts, the people who keeps on, and you see them on social media because this is a social media experiment, right? So when they did the whole separation thing during the pandemic, they placed all of these people into circulation to fake like they are of the essence, to fake like they're chosen ones. They even switched up what aura was. They switched up what readings was. All tarot card readers are doing it for money now. Like, look at this world. They don't want the real tarot card readers. They don't want the real shadow workers to get to the people. So what they do is they put out false workers that use it for materialistic gain. If the universe has a message for me, the universe don't need money because the universe can't spend money. So if the universe gives you a message for somebody, you are to give that person the message, right? You ain't supposed to say, well, for $29.99, I'll give you this message that the universe has for you. That's bullshit. These people are using spirituality for material gain because they knew in the Aquarius sky, all this stuff that we consider to be retro, all this stuff, witchcraft, voodoo, all this stuff. Now all of this stuff is coming back, and they're trying to put the people in place to sell it to us. They're trying to put the people that they want in place so they can sell you your truth. They don't want you to know your truth. They don't want you to learn your truth. They want to sell you your truth. Pay attention. Pay attention. It's all happening now.
Starseed.
Hey, y'all hit that follow button, share the live. Hit the follow button, share the live.
On spacecraft, or in other dimensions and interlocking world spaces, who have volunteered to assist in bringing in the ascension cycle and assist Earth through her next phase of evolution. They generally inhabit their human body from its birth. Some are born knowing their identity and purpose, others are to be activated, or wake up, at a later time. The timing of the moment of birth is deliberate and orchestrated with specific blueprint coding. Souls agreeing to come to Earth together find corresponding genetics that fit their soul's mission. A lot of experiments have been put in motion through bloodlines just for this purpose, in order to house the star seed operation. There are many variations of these experiments with starseed, and there are many combinations of astrological star codings, from planet placement to blood/genetic requirements, to match galactic agendas.
Now this is explaining
Starseeds
to
are
you.
programmed with a spiritual mission and higher purpose to aid in the activation of their brothers and sisters
You hear
in
that?
collective advancement through moral,
Starseeds
ethical,
are
and mental and
programmed
spiritual
for
guidance from the
this.
expanding consciousness evolution occurring at the ascension cycle. When a starseed is called upon to gather in unison of purpose, that is when others seem to witness miracles or magic in motion because of their combined galactic heritage.
We're in the
Most
time of the
starseeds
gathering
are
right
truly
now.
activated from all levels
Starseeds are trying to gather right now.
that they have chosen.
But they got
Another
imposter
trait of
spirits
starseed
around
is
them.
to totally rejuvenate their bodies through meditation or other modes of healing. Others not yet activated into their knowing can and do turn sometimes to darker agendas of behavior and can be harassed by imposter spirits. True power of star seed comes from knowing their total journey and specific mission with the earth and humanity and clearing negative ego and pain body. Trauma they may have inherited through earth. Miasma. There seems to be a constant among star seed, which is that a higher guidance system which oversees their stay on earth and assist when truly needed and of which is connected to a larger group's spiritual purpose.
Now I want y'all to think about that. They don't tell the same thing that they do to a starseed to everybody else. They don't tell gang members not to click up. They don't tell political parties not to click up. They don't tell the police force not to click up. They don't tell no other group down here not to group up. But every time a starseed tries to find their collective, every time a starseed tries to put together a network or a gathering, right, they'll tell the starseed, they'll either try to hurt the starseed, remind the starseed of a trauma, and then say, go heal. They want you to be divided. They want starseeds, indigos, all my light workers, they want y'all to be divided. They don't want y'all to click up. They know this is the time of gathering. Why they ain't tell no Bloods or Crips not to click up? Why they ain't tell no GDs or Latin Kings not to click up, right? But they'll tell the light workers, they'll tell star seeds, they'll tell anybody that who's awakening to the consciousness of Christ, they'll tell you, go be by yourself. Make that make sense? Why is it that every other group has a gang, but when it comes to spiritual people, we can't click up? We have the right to assemble because it's in our constitution. So how are they taking away our right to assemble and reach each other? We're not stopping them from reaching each other. We're not stopping lust demons from hanging out. We're not stopping fucking Diddy parties or freak offs. We letting all those lustful people be lustful people. We letting them operate in the energy that they're harvesting, right? But they're not letting us operate in the energy that we're harvesting. We're harvesting loving energy. They won't let us operate with love. They try to put us in regret, revenge. They'll try to keep on doing shit to you until you do something back, and then they'll play the, you asked me, If you think this lie is from the devil, then you are a devil worshiper. Because I want you to think about this. How is it that you know so many things that is from the devil, but you can't tell me what Christ was down here teaching? How is it that you sit here and say to teach people about love is from the devil, to teach people about unity is from the devil, but you can't tell me what your Jesus Christ was teaching people? Because Christ wasn't teaching people to divide or separate. In fact, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. You're not being truthful with yourself if you think Christ wasn't down here teaching. And you are definitely a follower of the devil, because how do you know what the devil was teaching but don't know what Christ was teaching? Answer that. How did you study what the devil was teaching so you can know when the devil comes back, but you ain't learned shit of Christ? Make that make sense. How all y'all sit there and say, the devil was teaching that, the devil was teaching that. What was God teaching then? What was Christ teaching then? I bet you can't tell me what Christ was teaching. I bet you can't. All y'all that run around and say, Christ is the way, Christ is the way. Tell me what he was teaching. Tell me how he was teaching people they were gods. Because that's what he was teaching people. He said, is it not written in ye laws that ye are gods? Right? Even on the cross, he told his mom to look at the disciple and said, that is now your son. He told the disciple to look upon his mother and said, that is now your mother. Right? He was teaching a universal oneness. Anybody who see that as the devil is a follower of the devil. You are a follower of the Antichrist. You keep coming against people that's teaching about love. Make that make sense. God himself said, how can you love me who you never seen, yet hate your brother who you see every day? So you come in here, Amy, with hate towards your brother who you see every day, but then you claim to be of Christ. You can't be of Christ if you are denying the Christ that is in me. If you believe that the devil can come in through people, but don't believe Christ can come in through people, you are a follower of the Antichrist. That's the truth. I want to know, how the fuck do you know what the devil was teaching? You wasn't even here around the time the devil was here. In fact, according to our understanding, the greatest thing the devil ever did was make you think he didn't exist. So how the fuck you know what the devil was teaching? Huh? If the devil made you think he didn't exist, how the fuck you know what the devil was teaching? And why did you study the stuff the devil was teaching, but never studied the stuff Christ was teaching? You're not making sense, Amy. I'm going to need you to make some sense, Amy. We're in the time of Aquarius, a time of knowing. So before you come in with your false narratives, so you studied the devil. So Amy, let me get this straight. You said I did both. So you studied the devil. Think about that. You studied the devil. So you can learn the ways of the demons. So if I'm talking about love, then if the devil is the opposite of Jesus, and I'm talking about love, then you saying Jesus is hate? Because I'm talking about love, and you're saying that the devil teaches about love. So if you're saying that he's the opposite of Jesus, and I'm talking about love, and you said that's the stuff that the devil was teaching, so what you're saying is Jesus is hate because the devil is love. You see how confused you are? You see how confused you are with inside yourself? You're so confused that you go around and say confusing shit to other people to stop them from growing. You so stuck in dumbness that you go around keeping other people in a stupor so you can make yourself feel better about how dumb you really are. Sad days, man. Sad days. So it's so scared that somebody else is going to learn something before you that you want to go around and lie to everybody else while you secretly study the devil. You want to lie to everybody else, but you secretly studying the devil. Shut up. Get your ass out this room.
Lightworkers, advanced souls originating on Earth, who have evolved to the point of developing special abilities and talents, which are needed for elevating the planet and her inhabitants to expand consciousness. They were born to the body they occupy. They seem to be drawn to the process of spiritual or Kundalini awakening and the ascension, helping to preserve the earth, and starseed missions, and want to be involved with their agendas. They are the angelic worker bees of mission control. Many will choose to
Don't switch it up and say dark and light. Don't switch it up now.
But by frequency, they seem to resonate.
Don't try to act like you know about duality and stuff now. You said what you said. You know what you said. You know what you said,
Their home
Amy.
is the earth, and they want to keep it sustainable for all forms of life. When their mission is completed, they will be returning to a version of the earth reality, not to the stars or other planets. 7.
See? When their mission is completed, their home is the earth, and they want to keep it sustainable for all forms of life. When their mission is completed, they will return to a version of Earth's reality, right? They will return to a version of Earth's reality. Aren't we going through a shift right now? Isn't our reality changing as we know it right now? Our reality is changing right now. They said our Milky Way is moving through the galaxy. They say our time has sped up. They say our galaxy is about to collide with another galaxy. Y'all ain't paying attention to none of that? In fact, someone just came out with a full disclosure where they're explaining to you about ET, alien, so on and so forth. They're explaining to this. They're explaining all of this. The Pentagon came out 3 years ago and said some of us are multidimensional beings. They said all of this already. So how is the elites telling us that we're greater within inside of ourselves, but Amy still running around telling you that you ain't shit? How is it that Jesus told us that we are gods within inside of ourselves, but Amy running around saying that that's the devil, right? How is it that God and the Bible said he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world? Seek all knowledge for the kingdom of heaven, for the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, right? But Amy is telling you that the devil said all of this. The Bible says all of this. So unless the devil wrote the Bible, Amy is slightly mistaken, because everything that I'm teaching comes from the Bible. So if she was of Christ, then she would recognize Christ's teachings. Why is it that Amy, a Christian, does not recognize the teachings of Christ? And everything that I'm telling y'all came from the Bible. If you look at Ecclesiastes, it says, Ecclesiastes 11 says, remember your creator, right? It says, remember your creator, because our creator put stuff inside of us that reminds us of how great he is, right? And every now and again, we run into a reflection of ourself that also mimics that same vibrational frequency. But Amy said the devil was teaching all of this stuff. But according to the Bible, Christ was teaching this stuff. Christ was teaching people that they were great. Christ said that he was getting knowledge from the sun. That's why they put the thorn of crowns on his head as a representation of a crown for the sun. Christ, when asked how did he get educated, he said the universe gave him this knowledge. He gave all credit to the universe. But Amy said the devil was teaching this stuff. One's in the chat if you ever ran across a devil book that was teaching this stuff. I never ran across a devil book that was teaching this stuff. So what the fuck is Amy reading? What is Amy reading that she studied the devil to know that the devil was teaching about chakra systems, crystals, alignment, kundalini energy, Akashic records, all of this stuff? What was she reading? Because unless she's got the devil's diary, somewhere, and this all comes from your RH bloodline. A lot of people don't know the RH bloodline actually comes from the mother. It's during the time of conception.
RH negative bloodline is blood that is inherently karmic less blood of the original angelic human diamond sun template. The ancestral miasm from previous human generations hybridized
Yeah,
with
she got
animal
caught
or
up
alien
listening to the
DNA
devil.
is not recorded in the same way as in the karmic blood patterns that are sourced from alien-generated genetic distortions. The karmic miasma patterns of repeated lifetimes on Earth are energy stamps that are recorded in the blood of every being that is born into this dimension with alien
If you
hybrid
look
genetics.
this image up, it's under Afro-Ra African. So when you look this up, it's called Afu-Ra, AFU dash RA dash African. It's Afu-Ra African, right? And what it means is I am, right? I am is, and then it's African. I am, and then it's God, but I am is the Afu, is I am God, African. So Ra is God, Afu is I am God, African. So that's where you find this image at if you want to look it up, if you want to study it. All things on this image came out of the big book that they took pieces of. So the seed of David, they took that out of this big book. They took the yin and the yang out of this big book. They took the 5-point star, which is a representation of Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head. They took it out of this book. Every religion came out of this book. It was basically how man functioned, right? So it was telling you like man can be great, man can be noble, man can be a monster. So all of these things was telling you about, how to avoid and control the 72 demons of the soul of man. For that is what's in our dark waters. So in our dark waters of our body, the 72 demons of the soul of man is in our dark waters. And if we allow our spirit to drop in those waters, then the dark waters and the cherubs that's in there will commandeer your vessel. That's why when you drink and you black out, even though your vibrational frequency in your blood is thin and it's moving fast through your kidneys and stuff, right? Your spirit is dropped low, right? So your blood is speed up and you're doing the fasting thing because it's a fast vibrational frequency of your life water. But what you're doing is you're also dropping in dimensions of yourself. So it might be light on the water, but it's heavy on the spirit. That's why alcohol was called spirit back in the day, right? Because you put the spirit in you, right? And people did crazy things when they was possessed by the spirit. Let's listen to possessed of spirit, or walk-ins, as they would say. A lot of things that's happening right now is because of the overindulging of certain habits.
Walk-ins. The classic definition of a walk-in is an advanced soul choosing to volunteer, through a combination of galactic agendas, to assist Earth through her next stage of evolution. There are many different types of walk-in agreements. One common type is a specific group that do not go through the birth process. They trade places with someone already in human form through a prearranged agreement with that soul. If a starseed or light worker have no other way to complete their soul mission, then they might agree to leave the body and make a trade with a walk-in. Many advanced galactic civilizations have used these walk-in experiments at the pinnacle of evolutionary change in order to match celestial agendas. This is not to be confused with being possessed.
Now, what if this same thing is happening right now? What if the same thing is happening right now? What if people are relinquishing their vessel to some form of a walk-in demon in order to complete whatever ideal goal they have? What if they're being tricked right now by demonic entities to make them think that the demonic entity is of a godlike notion, right? What if that's happening right now? I mean, Constantine tricked us with dates and times and so on and so forth, right? If you go back to the first council of Nicaea, right? He tricked us so we wouldn't know the operations of the cosmic laws. That's what it says right here. On this paper, it says right here, Constantine kept the world ignorant of the operation of the cosmic laws. So they changed dates and seasons, right? Dates that they made the sun enter Aries was March. Why? March 21st should be the first day of the head. April 19th should be the first day of the neck, and so on and so forth to the 12 signs, right? And they designed schemes, knew that by this suppressing the truth from the people come to realize what was that the heavens declared the glory of God, that the moon in its monthly rounds of 29 and a half days, and the outer stars, our sun of the constellations too, and they to know the signs of the zodiac circle of beasts, but even unto this day, the Antichrist world, so-called Christians, exempt and go through the you could read it. You could read it right there for yourself. You could read it right there for yourself. We don't have to keep on playing this game no more. If you know Constantine tricked us from learning the cosmic laws, then why are you not going to learn the cosmic laws? The 144. There's 144 chromosomes. There's 144 cosmic laws because it's 12 laws within 12 laws. Inside that, there's a zodiac. There's 12 zodiacs within inside the zodiacs. That's why our days is broken up into 24. There's 88 constellations in our sky. 88. When Hitler was talking about 88, they lied to us and said Hitler was saying 88 as the 8th letter of the alphabet, which means Heil Hitler. Hitler was never talking about 88 as being a representation of he never talked about 88 as being a representation of as a word for hate. Remember, the Swazi came as a word, as a symbol of peace. The Japanese used it as a symbol of peace, but when they lost, they turned around and made that symbol seem like it was of negative, right? The same thing with the 88 and 14. Everybody thought that 8814 was the 88, which is the 8th letter of the alphabet 2 times, and 14 was the unspoken words, right? 1488, whatever you want to call it, right? So they turned this around so it can mean and have hate to it. But that's the duality of this world. Everything that's good, when it comes down here, they turn it into hate. And winners got to write the storylines of history, right? So when they won, they lied. They never told you about Hitler traveling to Antarctica. They never told you that Hitler took 2 million of his soldiers and traveled to Antarctica. And there's a town in Spain that speaks nothing but German. Or what is that? Russian? Whatever. They never told you about Hitler's bunkers in Antarctica. Why? Why they never told you about Hitler traveling to Antarctica? Yeah, Argentina. Come on. These people travel and migrated into other spaces. They never told us that. In fact, right now, it's about to come out that bin Laden is still alive. It's about to come out that Barack Obama lied about that whole thing, and Osama bin Laden never was unalived, and it was just a trick. And guess what? They're about to tell y'all the truth about that. If you look it up, they're about to tell you the truth about that. That it was all a lie. They about to tell you the truth about that. Because Obama couldn't, he had to put that false operation into play in order to give the people excitement. Oh, yes, Obama did it. Yes, he did it. He got rid of bin Laden. He did what we always wanted to do. Now they about to come out and tell you that was a lie. Right? Putin is telling Trump, listen, in order for you to reconcile, you have to arrest Barack Obama. In order for you to reconcile this, you have to arrest Barack Obama because Barack Obama did a lot of secret shit. And he really was attacking, Russian secretly, whatever the case may be. And they lied about a lot of shit. The truth is coming out. Y'all just going to be shocked by it. Y'all going to be like, oh, where did this come from? Blah, 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 blah. This is not true. This is a conspiracy theory. This is this. That's what y'all going to put around it. This is AI generated. Da, 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 da. Why do you think Barack Obama's sitting there talking about every man needs a GAY professor in their life in case they're kids? Come on. If we talk to a pastor going to tell you every man needs God in his life. We talked to Barack Obama. Barack Obama said everybody need a dick on standby just in case they get curious. Shut up. In case you get curious, keep a dick on standby.
Possessed of spirit, that is another matter altogether. These walk-ins that are being placed in human form are guided in deliberate fashion and in accordance with free will at cosmic levels of agreements. The silver cord of life force is traveled upon to imprint the new consciousness. Of the walk-in and agreements are made to fulfill certain family concerns left unfinished by the soul walking out. After a period of adjustment, then certain behavior patterns emerge and drastic changes start to take place, such as weddings, divorces, relocation, change of occupation, even sexual preference may change. Walk-ins can be permanent, which means that the original soul will not return. Temporary walk-ins can use a human body for
this is why I say I don't deal with people, I deal with entities, because anybody in your presence can open themselves up to the walk-in. If they are putting themselves in certain vibrational frequencies for too long, they might, you know what I mean? You know how somebody asks the universe for something and then the universe appears in the form of a devil who tells you that they can make all your deepest fantasies and dreams come true and so on and so forth. These are the walk-ins, right? You know how some people say, when I go through trauma, I let something else take over my body, or I go to a happy place within inside myself and da-da-da-da-da. These are walk-ins. These are walk-ins. When you go through so much trauma, right? A walk-in will tell you, like a walk-in entity will tell you, don't worry about this. I'll take this one so you won't have to feel no pain. I'll do this so you won't have to do it. A lot of people say that they seen red and they just snapped or spazzed out or whatever. No, that was that walk-in that was like, hey, let me do it. I know you don't want to do it, right? When you trying to do something demonic, you're calling on these energies. When you sitting there contemplating on taking life, you're calling on these energies. When you sitting there contemplating on fucking somebody up, stabbing somebody's tires, doing whatever the fuck negative vibration that you're doing, who you think you conjuring with? You're conjuring with lower vibrational energies that's building up in your vessel, so you can say, they gonna say, all right, I got enough strength, let me do this. And you gonna sit your ass in the back and they gonna go destroy some shit. When they get done destroying some shit, they gonna let you have your vessel back, and you gonna be sitting there looking like who did it and why, talking about how'd I end up in jail. Now you need a psych evaluation because you don't even know you did the shit that you did. And you really fighting with yourself and your spirit. All because people are not in control of their self. People are allowing the trials and tribulations to become them, and then they're turning their vessel over to an entity. It's like once your spirit is broken, your spirit says, I don't even give a fuck no more. And then as soon as your spirit say, I don't even give a fuck no more, that when that entity come knock on your door. Hey, can I have a go at it? You mind if I try some shit? Destruction, disaster, and next thing you know, you lost yourself again. That's why when you find yourself in this world, try not to let nobody lose you again. When you find your spiritual purpose, remind yourself of that. Because this world is going to throw so much shit at you that literally you are going to find yourself beside yourself. And when you find yourself beside yourself, you might not be able to get back in. You might do some stuff. That entity might make your vessel do some stuff where you don't even want to enter back into your own vessel. That shit might have you sitting beside yourself like, I don't even want to be here no more. Because they done did so much shit to your vessel, done made you belittle yourself so much that by the time you get your vessel back, you like, man, it ain't even worth it. You done tarnished everything about the fucking vessel. You done went out there and made people paint images about me and you helped them along and da-da-da-da-da. And now people putting false images on what is spiritual. And now you don't even want to be spiritual no more because they done painted all these false narratives about spirituality. That's what they doing right now. They making you think that spirituality is wrong so you don't want to be a part of it. But they telling you, come over here to Christianity where we all gonna burn in hell together. I mean, where we all gonna not go to hell together, supposedly. Make it make sense. That's because misery loves company. They don't want to see you in a better light because they can't see themselves in a better light. They don't want to see you do better because they ain't trying to do better. Why I want to see you do good things if I ain't trying to do good things? Why I want to see you celebrate if I ain't celebrating? People want to see you how they see their self. A thief is always going to think everybody is stealing. A scammer is always going to think everybody is scamming. A grifter going to think everybody's doing it. Because that's what they justify in their mind. They tell themselves this in their mind. That's why no matter what, we operate on love, light, truth. Because as long as you operating on love, light, and truth, all that other shit is frivolous. They can make up all the lies that they want about something. The universe sees the truth. That's why the Bible say, if you aim to please man, your friends will be many. But if you aim to please God, your friends will be few, right? That's why you're not supposed to be concerned with how man looks upon you. I'm not worried about how man look upon me. We done been incarnated so many times. Why the fuck is we now in our 12th generation of carnation? Why are we still worried about what man thinks? I'm not worried about what man thinks no more. We are in our 12th lunar cycle, and we've been recycling for how long? It's about time we do something different. We are the epitome of insane. We keep doing the same shit over and over again, hoping for a different outcome. How much division has to take place before you realize division is not the way? How much dividing do we have to do before we realize that dividing is not the way? Well, we got to be two people on a fucking island together before we realize we got to unite? Well, we got to get down to the last two bipartisans of humanity? If that's the case, then every man should operate like they're the last man, and every woman should operate like they're the last woman. And we should just realize that we fucking need each other. Because right now, the shit we doing is not making sense to me. 72 countries can agree that nobody should be allowed past the ice wall in the Arctic Circle Treaty, but we can't agree on no fucking peace. Everybody agree that nobody should be allowed past this wall, but we can't agree to just disagree and be at peace with one another? No, because we got to worry about what they're building over there. We got to worry about what they're doing. We need to keep track of everything everybody else is doing. Yes, that's colonization. That's control. That's superiority. It's fucking insane. It's not making sense. I watched the live yesterday where somebody said it was a landlord-tenant situation, but then they went on to try to ask a bunch of personal shit. It's a landlord-tenant situation. And then they go on to say, and he chased the son, and he did this, and I thought you just said it was a landlord-tenant situation. Make up your mind. Which fucking argument do you want to put out there about this person? That's how you know everybody got hidden agendas. You're analyzing shit falsely. You're making a situation that took place 3 to 4. Matter of fact, it's been a whole month since we've been out of that situation. This motherfucker's still reporting it like it was yesterday. Make it make sense. How you still reporting something like it was yesterday? And we done been out of that situation for a whole month. Make that shit make sense. Make it make sense. We done been out of that situation a whole month, gang. On my mama, I swear to God. We done been out of that shit a whole month. This person looking at old videos, somebody sending them old videos of me, and they still making it seem like we was in that situation just to build content. They still over there. They didn't update their crew. They didn't update their, they didn't say, oh, he's now so-and-so. He now did this. He's they didn't do none of that. Why is it? Why is it that you making it seem like you keeping people up with what's going on, but you a whole fucking month and some change behind? Now you feel a certain type of way because I already knew that you didn't have nothing about the situation, and I already said a month ago that you were going to use Levi as a way to try to tear me down. And now you're mad because that truth is being revealed, and you're super mad because I already said it. So now you want to act like you're such a busy person and you ain't got time for this and ain't got time for that. So how the fuck do you got time to put out false information then? If you such a busy person, how you got time to put out false information? I'll digress. I'll digress. Right? Well, you can't put the truth out there. Somebody's sending you bits and pieces of a police video, but you ain't go and watch the police video for yourself. You just saying shout out to the person who sent this to me. You know what that mean, Danny? That mean you're controlled by your fucking collective. That mean they send you the shit that they want you to talk about, and you talk about it so you can keep getting money. They don't want you to talk about me in a good light. They gonna pay you to talk about me in a bad light. And you gonna talk about me in a bad light because you need that money. See, over here at the Atlas family, we don't put money over people, right? So we help people no matter what. We do for people no matter what. We stand in righteousness no matter what. You only stand in righteousness when it greases your pockets. You want to put out filth, all types of controversial shit because it greases your pockets. You want to paint false narratives and images about people because it greases your pockets. I want to know, how did my life become a game that you feel like you got to win? Don't think you won. Don't think you won because you didn't win anything. What the fuck is you talking about? This is my life. I'm not trying to win a victory about my life over you. That don't even make sense. You're an avatar on a fucking internet. You don't even show your face. So therefore, why would I be trying to win a game? That's how you know this is a game to you. You think that you doing something because the truth about to come out and you about to look stupid. So now you trying to hurry up and put out as many false evidential documents as possible. The text messages. I look back at the text messages. It looks like it's some stuff that's deleted in there, Danny. Why your text messages look altered? The text messages that you getting from whoever it is that you getting it from, why do they look altered compared to the real conversation line? Why do you pick certain conversations at different points? You actually did it backwards. You went from the most recent conversation when he did bring up the money, and then you went all the way backwards to May, right? But your original conversation with him, you said that Char's been there since March and hasn't paid nothing, right? And then you turned around and said, who cares whether it was March or May, right? Well, March and May is a big fucking difference because there's money involved in those months, right? So if somebody was there to March, then you got March, May, April. You got some months in between there, right? But you ain't want to point that out because that would make you look wrong. So why not say, who cares what month it was, right? Everybody knows that I didn't get there until way later, but you still making it seem like I was in a landlord-tenant situation with this guy. Everybody's telling you that, you know, she contacted the Atlas family in order to come out there to try to save the farm, but you're still trying to paint the wrong narrative to people. I want you to make this make sense now, Danny. I need you to make this shit make sense, right? You saying that we gave the man $450. Isn't that for, I want you to think about this, $450. What is this man complaining about? Electric, right? And the internet. Well, we went out and bought our own internet box, so he ain't have to complain about the internet, right? And then, not only that, we gave him $200 and something for the extra electric that my kids might have been using while we was there, right? And then we gave him $250 for any other bills, right? So we were only there for less than a month. I was only there for three weeks to a month trying to get shit right. And I gave up $450 for the extra people that I brought. $450 for the extra people that I brought because I didn't want this dude to think that we were using him in any type of way. I got money from the collective and brought fucking pig feed, chicken feed. When the lawnmower went down, $200 out my pocket to go buy a weed eater, right? Now we $600. Now we have $600 because the weed eater is still there that we brought, right? So now we bought rakes We bought rakes and tools and stuff for the greenhouse because we thought we was putting the greenhouse back together, right? But you're not bringing up all of that stuff. You're trying to make it seem like Freeman was doing for you. Freeman out his own mouth said, I didn't give you shit. Freeman out his own mouth. That's why she don't want Maggie to play Freeman's Facebook feed, because out his own mouth, he's telling on himself. That's why she don't want Maggie to play it. That's why she's saying Freeman gave her the right to strike anybody that play his stuff. That don't even make no fucking sense. Freeman don't even know the rights to striking pages on YouTube. That's how I know you know. That's how I know you made that shit up. And if you trust Freeman that fucking much, why are you playing catch up for Freeman if you don't play no sides? If you're not on no sides, why are you striking people for Freeman? That don't even make sense. If I'm not on no side, why am I striking people for the person's side I'm not on? Why am I making sure that nobody shows how fucked up Freeman is, but you want to put a false narrative out there about me? But you protecting and making sure that nobody tells the truth about Freeman. Make that shit make sense. Who's paying you? Huh? Because that don't make no sense that you're putting a lie out about somebody else, but stopping somebody else's truth from getting exposed. Sounds like you're compromised. Sounds like you're compromised. But hey, who am I? Who am I? Right? I'm nobody. Let's talk about how star seeds are getting targeted during the time of ascension. Listen to this, people.
Starseed targeting. During the ascension cycle, starseeds and indigos have been especially targeted with superimposed karmic loads and implants, for the purpose of slowing us down and requiring incredible spiritual strength in order to be in positive alignment with the law of cause and effect. Our group experiences the boomerang effect of the planetary miasma, as this collective race karmic backlash is directed from dark entities, to keep us weighted down and trapped in this lower density. The tendency to experience more interference on our path to derail our mission forces us to learn more quickly the necessity to maintain clear and pristine energies through spiritual housekeeping.
And she telling on herself. Because if you go back and listen to Danny Robinson's live, when they keep on playing Levi's recording, in the beginning of Levi's talking, Levi's telling that guy, I'm upset because y'all tried to trick me, and Freeman told me to go upstairs so y'all can try to lock the doors down here, right? So literally, Levi is telling that guy, yo, y'all tried to trick me and tell me to go upstairs and lock the doors, and then try to lock the doors down here. And that's why Levi was saying he was upset. So the dude tried to ask them the questions that he wanted answered. No, I was just checking on you because earlier you said this, that, and the third. No, Levi was saying, y'all try to trick me and lock me out. But how Danny Robinson overlooking that? I want to ask y'all this. If Danny Robinson is just the middle person, right? She keeps on pushing this autistic kid that's involved, right? But she's using a fucking narrated conversation with one of Freeman's friends as evidence. That's what she has. A conversation where Freeman's friend goes and questions an autistic kid, right? And then she turns around and say that Shar is using Levi for labor, and Shar and Levi both know Levi don't do nothing. We don't ask Levi to do much because Levi always argues and stuff like that. So that's a lie right there within itself, right? Levi don't do what other people tell him to do. Levi does what Levi wants to do, right? But she's going to say that Shar's using Levi for labor, but she's not looking at Freeman as using Shar and Levi for labor. Make that make sense? That she said that the mom of this child is using him for labor. But you're not looking at this farmer who brought this mom out there to give him rides places, clean up his house, cut his grass, and feed his animals. You're not saying Freeman used both of them for labor. In fact, Freeman put a video up on his Facebook where he put a mask on Levi and was recording Levi dancing and shit like that. And everybody on his Facebook said, that kid looks uncomfortable. You should take this down, so on and so forth. So Freeman was exploiting Levi, even trying to tell Levi to come upstairs and play the game, and offered to do whippets with Levi when Levi was 17 years old. But she's pointing out the shit that she wants to point out. I want y'all to make that make sense. If you have a conversation with Levi and ask Levi if Freeman offered him this or if Freeman was doing this and that, he's going to tell you the truth about it. But y'all don't want to have that conversation with Levi because that would be what? Oh, if I have the conversation with Levi, he's doing too much. He's trying to talk to the autistic kid. But you sent somebody out there to fucking ask the autistic kid questions, and then you're using that as fucking evidence to try to tear down a content creator when the mother and the son is not content creators. You're using them to tear me down, and they're not even content creators. You have absolutely nothing on me. Absolutely fucking nothing on me to try to tear down my support. So you're using someone else as a way to keep on attacking me. Make that make sense. You ain't even updating people on me. You trying to beef with somebody from my Discord or somebody from the Atlas family. Just like everybody else. Find somebody that's closely connected, and then you use that person, exploit that person, and then you try to use that person to tear down my credibility. Then you're going to say, oh, what type of person just leaves you in the house? Like, you just said it yourself. It is a civil situation. It is a landlord-tenant situation. That means she's got to go through all the proper steps in the court, so on and so forth, filing the paperwork, making sure this. She's got to go through all of that. But you want to make it seem like, and I bet you he just ran out on her and left her and blah, blah. Shut up. You sad as hell. That's why you over there sounding irate. That's why you over there sounding mad as fuck. That's why you over there sounding so upset, because you know you jumped the gun on this shit. You know that you're not putting the truth out there, and now you got to stand in that shit. Let's be clear about that. You got to stand in the fucking lie that you created because you jumped the gun and you painted a fucked up narrative about something that wasn't fucked up. And now you got to sit in that shit. So stand in it. Don't sit there and try to throw insults out because you ain't got facts and merits like you said. Right? You said that you deal with facts and merits and you bring receipts, yet we seen no receipts. We seen text messages that are out of sync, right? We seen text messages that you put in an order that best benefits your storyline. Not even real text logs, because the conversations, there's gaps in between that you're missing. You jumped around to fit the idea that you wanted to fit. Right? When these conversations came about, so on and so forth, you're going to try to use the receipts how you want to use the receipts because it benefits you. You're not showing none of the receipts because you know we showed everything in the video. You know we operate in real time. That's why you a whole fucking month behind. That's why you sitting there looking stupid a month behind trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm too busy for this. I'm too busy for that. You a whole fucking month behind. You ain't even in that location no more. You reporting the wrong shit. Out here call yourself doing some type of justice, but talking about the end reporting the wrong shit. Make up your mind, lady. Make up your mind. You just mad because in this case, you have to admit that you're fucking wrong. That's why you're mad. Because if it was a squatter situation, we'll still be there fucking squatting. I would still be there squatting. It's not. It's like you said, right? It's a landlord-tenant situation. She didn't know she was getting put in that type of situation, right? But after it became the situation that it became, Now she's stuck, right? So now you got somebody that's stuck, somebody in a situation, but you keep pointing at the person that's stuck. You keep trying to attack this person's resources. You keep trying to find out about this person, whether she's getting SSI for her son, whether she's disability, whether she's getting a check, why are you worried about that person's funding so much? What job she has, so on and so forth. Why the fuck is you so pressed about her life? She's not a content creator, but you are pressed as fuck about her life. Press. I never seen somebody exploit a mother and an autistic child the way Danny Robinson is exploiting a mother and an autistic child. You know how many times my kids said it was nothing to eat in the house and we had a refrigerator full of shit? It just wasn't something fast for them to get to, right? I never seen no shit like this. She's trying to use a woman and her struggles with her child as a way to tear down a content creator. And y'all making that shit make sense over there. I bet you gonna say, we talking in circles. I bet you y'all gonna try to say we're narcissistic, but you're not pointing out her, right? We let everybody operate how they wanna operate, even in the Discord. Everywhere we at, we operate. Y'all operate how y'all wanna operate. I like the fact that people have the freedom to operate how they wanna operate. That don't sound narcissistic. Narcissistic people tell people how they want them to operate. Narcissistic people make it seem like they know the situation before it happens, right? Just like you said, I already know how the conversation gonna go with him. That's narcissistic. That's very narcissistic to determine how I'm going to respond. Right. How many times kids say ain't nothing in there to eat and this refrigerator full of shit? That's how you know she's out of the loop of things. She's sitting there trying to justify an autistic kid's actions when regular kids say ain't nothing to eat. Literally, Levi said, my mom's on the way to drop something off. Right? But this, she's mixing it up how she wants to mix it up because it benefits her to keep the bullshit going like that. That benefits her. It don't benefit us. It benefits her to keep the bullshit going. We back to talking about moon stars and quasars. We back to having a level of understanding, trying to learn, build, and grow. Right? But she a whole fucking month behind. We ain't been at Freeway Farms. We ain't been near Freeway Farms for a whole month and some change. She's still talking about shit that happened back in July. Trying to make accents. Oh, I love your cowboy accent. I love your country accent. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Miss, I'm not taking a side on this. I'm not taking no side. But you ain't do no interview with Shar. You ain't try to put the receipts out there that Shar got. You ain't trying to show none of them. Why is that? Why is that? So, with that being said, I want you to continue painting the picture how you want to paint it. Because nobody paint a picture quite like you, right? You're the master of all of this stuff, right? So you continue painting the picture how you're going to paint it, right? We're going to do the right thing and put the paperwork in, get the lawyers and everything like that. And we're going to go about it that way. You continue painting your life for your collective, right? And whatever support that I lost, they wasn't real support in the first place, right? Anybody who's still trying to keep stagnant things going, you wasn't no real supporter. Let's be clear. Let's be honest about this, right? A lot of y'all wanted me to get stuck in a situation. A lot of y'all wanted to paint a negative narrative around my real life for the fucking exploitation of YouTube. That's why a lot of y'all don't come over to TikTok. Y'all don't really try to move with light and love. Y'all don't participate in none of the fucking positive educational lives that I do. That's why y'all, because y'all don't want to see somebody in a good light. The only time y'all really want to come over here is when I'm tearing somebody down, in my feelings about some shit, or giving somebody a piece of my mind. Because controversy sells, right? But we're not about that over here. So we're going to let y'all have y'all negative, and we're going to move into educational unification type space. I asked her to, never mind, I ain't even about to answer that. You absolutely right. I asked her to look into it. I appreciate her for looking into it. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. We appreciate her for looking into it. Thank you. And we appreciate you coming over here to try to tell us that we asked her to look into it. I didn't ask her to lie. She's lying, but you're still talking about you asked her to look into it. She's lying. Completely lying. This person, Freeman, didn't even mention my kids being there until Danny brought it up. When Danny asked him, why don't you go back and listen to her interview? When Danny asked him who was in the basement, he said her 18-year-old son, her 18-year-old daughter, and her 20-something-year-old daughter. Danny Robinson had to narrate him to say what she wanted him to say by saying, basically by saying, oh, did Ralph have 7 there? And he said, oh yeah, that boy looked like a little orphan Annie. That was the only time he mentioned one of my kids that was there. When she asked him was 7 there. Before that, he wasn't even mentioning the kids I had there. He was adding extra people that wasn't there. There's an 18-year-old daughter there, and and the daughter's not even 18. Mina's like 14 or 15 years old. Fucking smooth lies. And the daughter stays with her dad. Smooth fucking lies. But, hey, you're right. I asked her to look into it. Thank you. But by me asking her to look into it, she set herself up for failure. Because now this is the perfect situation that Maggie needs to prove that Danny Robinson is a fucking liar. This is the perfect fucking situation. That's why she said, I will strike Maggie for playing the Freeman content. Because she knows that it's going to make her look like a fucking liar. So she's stopping people from putting the truth out there because she knows this is the one situation she jumped the gun on. She fraudulently lying about shit. And then she's trying to attack a woman and her autistic child while they're already in strenuous situations. Y'all ain't making no sense with her activities. But like I said, y'all built her page off of spilling the tea, getting the tea, and creating the tea. So that's why y'all like that she reports bullshit. I never heard nobody on YouTube talk about the knowledge that we put over here. I never heard nobody talk about the information that we talk about, the constellations that we talk about, right? They don't never speak about that. And they don't even know what the fuck I'm on here for. They can't say that I'm grifting, that I'm doing this, that I'm doing that. They can't say none of that. Because everything that we do, we show and prove what we doing it. We show the receipts that we want and got what we said we was going to get. Hey guys, I'm trying to get this, and then we show that we got it. Y'all just mad because our reality actually matches what the fuck we do on here. That's what y'all mad about. Our reality actually match a love, light, and unity type of movement. That's what y'all mad about, if we being honest. Y'all thrive on negativity and low vibrations. And that's what y'all thrive on, you know? Tell her to sue me then. If it's defamation of character, tell her to sue me so I can countersue her. She's defaming my character by making it seem like I was a squatter and going out there for some false pretenses. But you won't look at that as defamation of character. She's a fucking liar. And she's exploiting Shar and Levi as a way for content. That ain't no fucking lie. That ain't defamation. I asked her to look into Freeman. Me and Freeman, right? I didn't ask her to exploit Shar and Levi. So that's not a lie. So if she thinks that I'm defaming her character, tell her to sue me. She knows my information. I'm not hiding. My name is Ralph Boston. She knows. Tell her to sue me if she think I'm defaming her character. Because I'll be damned if somebody's going to sit there and defame my character with lies and then tell me that I'm defaming their character by saying they lying on me. How the fuck am I defaming her character by saying she's lying on me? That don't even make sense right there. that I'm defaming somebody's character for defending my real life situation. Shut the fuck up. That's how you know y'all say anything. Y'all would say anything to sound right. Anything to sound right. Just to make it look like you came over here and fought for her so you can go back over there and get praises from her. Yes, Danny, I cursed him out earlier. Yup, he was talking about you earlier and I cursed him out. I time-stamped it and everything. Here, I'm going to send you the email. That's all y'all do this shit for. It's fucking praisal from her. That's it. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I give a fuck about what's right. And if she ain't trying to do what's right, then that's shit. She can get exposed too. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all keep on talking about right is right, right is right, right is right. Danny does what's right. No, she does not. Because why is she stopping people from... Why is she trying to exploit my situation, but then she's stopping people from talking about Freeman? Make that shit make sense. Why are you stopping people from talking about Freeman? Why are you stopping people from putting that side out? That don't make sense to me. If I'm just a middle person, if I don't have nothing to do with either side, I'm not taking sides. Why am I striking people for talking about Freeman? Because she knows that this is the one situation that Maggie can make her look like the fucking person that she truly is. She knows that this is the one situation that Maggie can use because it's a real life situation. And when the lawsuits and everything come out and you see what the fuck goes on and the state shows us in favor and all of that stuff, right? Then she's going to switch up her story. Because if you don't think we talking to lawyers and stuff right now, if you don't think that our, rights as humans was like fucked over, him recording us at night, him saying like, I'll show you how to get them aroused. All you got to do is talk shit to them. Oh yeah, we got the camera on them now. They about to run up out of here in the middle of the night. Da 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 da. That right there shows you that he had ill intent. Right? Him saying that, why is she not reporting all the things that he said? When he said he was going to say I stole his credit card. When he said that he was going to say I was, stealing his pants. Or he said that I touched him and had my hands in his pants. Why is she not reporting none of that? Because that's the stuff that made us linger longer. Because I'm telling him, like, call the police so we can figure all this shit out right now. Why didn't you contact Maggie in the beginning? Because Maggie has been putting a lot of false stuff out there about us, right? Why would we contact Maggie? Why would we contact Maggie? Maggie said we were working for Danny Robinson. Maggie said we were part of the troll farm. Maggie said that everybody's a part of Danny Robinson's group and so on and so forth. What are you talking about? Why y'all acting like y'all don't know what's been going on YouTube? Why every day y'all wake up, y'all act like the shit ain't been going on? Why y'all tune in every day and tune into the bullshit, but then y'all get on certain pages and y'all act oblivious to shit? All we asked for Danny to do was put the truth out there. She keep on trying to make it seem like, oh, he said that Rock Nation and Jaguar Wright is after him. Jaguar Wright mentioned fentanyl-laced marijuana. Freeman is making fentanyl-laced marijuana. Wow, that's a connection right there. The person who came in the house to threaten us was signed to Rock Nation. Oh, that's a connection right there. But you say, let's be clear, they were not signed as an artist to Rock Nation. They was just signed to a distribution deal to Rock Nation. What the fuck? What does it matter what specific contract to Rock Nation they signed? They're still signed to Rock Nation. The fuck is she talking about? Let's be clear. Technically, they're not Rock Nation. They just rep Rock Nation. Shut up. Trying to make it seem like, where did he get this idea from? Where did that come from? How did Rock Nation get involved? Because the dude reps Rock Nation. Fuck is y'all talking about? How did Jaguar get involved? Because Jaguar said Courtney Burgess was with Alicia English, whatever the fuck her name is, and they were making fentanyl-based weed. Now, we get stuck on a farm where you see the weed, right? And if you look back in the history, I'm going to show y'all the receipts. Matter of fact, I'm going to get in touch with this person tonight to see if they want to do this interview about Freeman, right? And literally, they told you that in the interview, they tell you that Freeman was making fentanyl-based shit out of the house. Matter of fact, let me pull it up on Discord right now so I can show you. Cause y'all trying to make it seem like somebody just made some shit up. Nobody need to make no shit up on him. Fuck, we need to make shit up for. What does this do? He's a crook, always have been. Of them are major scammers, right? And then right here, I heard him and Ryan were making fentanyl pills that's what killed such and such, right? Now, we blocked out some of these names because these are his family members that are no longer here, so on and so forth, right? So the fentanyl pills is what took out such and such, right? And then they say the whole family is effed up, right? I often wonder at myself and my own sister choose to side with him, and I haven't seen my niece and nephew since such and such passed. It really messed up. It says he's a drug addict and scum. He effing overdosed in front of everyone at such and such funeral, right? Yeah, they had to Narcan him and brought him back, right? Here's the person that reached out. I know Gerald was engaged to the lady that owns that house, and when he died, she just disappeared. I'm not even sure he owns that house and always wonder where the lady went, right? Something is up. I would have someone look into that. She's probably on the property somewhere. But Danny Robinson want to point out other shit, right? Danny Robinson want to point out other shit, but not this, not the facts behind shit, right? Not the facts, not the real shit that I asked her to look into. She want to point out other shit, right? I'm telling you that this person might have unalived somebody and they might be still buried on this property. I'm telling you that this person literally, the other person that this person was in contact with that was out there in February is missing, and he still is operating from this person's phone, right? But Danny Robinson's not speaking on none of that, right? She's not speaking on none of this stuff. The reason why we need a proper paperwork trail is because that's what's keeping Shar safe, right? The proper paperwork trail is what's keeping Shar safe, right? Y'all mad because we doing the righteous shit to keep people safe. And I got a job. Literally, I got a job. Look it up. Look up what my employment is. You dumb fucks. Dumb as hell. I had a job before I came over to YouTube. Literally, y'all all know I came from TikTok. So everybody knows that I'm a fucking content creator over on TikTok. Literally. Agency, all of that shit. You sitting there talking about I'm playing the game. Yes, I get paid to fucking play the game. I get paid to go live on multiple accounts on TikTok and get paid for that shit. I help other people build fucking pages and they pay homage. So stop worried about what the fuck my occupation is if my life is in order. Just because I go around and help people out, why the fuck you think we ain't on the farm now? Because we never wasn't trying to use nobody. Why the fuck was it so easy for us to get up and fucking leave then? After I got the U-Haul and got our shit up out the house. I never was in a rent situation with that dude. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, y'all are weird as fuck that y'all keep on trying to make it seem like somebody was in a rent situation. I never went there for rent. I never went there for tenant. Y'all sit there and point out, he asked her to make that 4th of July party thing for his family for on Facebook. He came down there and said, hey, can you make me a 4th of July flyer? But y'all tell the story like y'all want to tell it because y'all's story sounds better than the truth. Y'all's story are packed with so much excitement. So I like y'all's story. Keep telling it. But as you can see, somebody's a whole month behind. Somebody's a whole month behind talking about yesterday. Yesterday, we were there. This look like the farm? Annie, catch up. You want to sit there and try to make it seem you reporting on something that's a whole month and some change behind. We been out of that person's house. We done went to the other place down in Detroit, done looked up shit, so on and so forth. We been out that person's house. What's going on with you, James? But it's about to get very interesting, people. Because when the truth came in and the truth comes out, they just didn't know what to say. The truth is about to be, well, you know, I want to see how they switch it up. Now they trying to call me all types of pieces of shit. First it was, he should leave her there, right? He should leave her there. He should leave her there, right? Then it was, oh, what type of man does this? What type of man does that, right? First it was, he should get away from her. He should get his kids away from her. He should make sure his kids is safe. Right? And then they turn around and say, what type of person makes sure their kids is safe? What type of person makes sure their kids is safe? He going out there trying to make sure his kids is safe. What? No, the police came out there and everything for that situation. Levi was the one who pulled out the knife on my son. And that's why the police was asking if my son wanted to press charges, and I told him to say no. That's why they was asking all those questions, because That was a situation that Levi, that's why, you know, his mom never dropped him off at the hospital. Levi actually left with the police, and because we didn't press charges on Levi, the police dropped him off at the hospital. The police wanted me to press charges on Levi. I was like, no, because I understand his mom's situation and so on and so forth. If you look back at the history of me and Levi, you would see that the police was called a lot of times on Levi when Levi got, you know, however Levi got. But Levi he'll go to the mental place and then he'll come back, and his therapist said to give him that reset, you know, because he might not know what he's doing or whatever. So give him that proper reset. And then when he comes back, you know, so on and so forth. So when you work with autistic kids, you know that these crash outs, these lashing outs, and so on and so forth, you kind of, you know, you understand them. So when the police was like asking my son if he wanted to press charges on Levi, or asking me if I wanted to press charges on Levi for pulling out the knife, I said no. Yes, his mom told him to go because Levi was in the house at first. So his mom told him to leave. His mom was like, Levi, go outside. Because at that moment, he was the one who had the knife, right? I told him if he was going to stab anybody, it's going to be me. So I literally stepped in between him and my son. And I was like, look, if you're going to stab anybody, it's going to be me, you know? And that's how me and Levi got into it about the knife. Because Levi, I said, here. He had the knife in his hand. I said, if you're going to stab somebody, it's going to be me. So if you're going to stab somebody, then do that shit now. I'm not letting you stab my son. You might well go ahead and stab me, right? So Levi dropped the knife. I gave him back the knife. Here, stab me. Levi threw the knife into the wall, and that's where the knife was left at. And when the police came out there, all the evidence proved, and so on and so forth. The knife was stuck in the wall. The cop asked my son if he wanted to press charges on Levi. My son said no, because I informed him to say no, because I'm the adult in that situation. That's my child, right? And, you know, the cop asked me if I wanted to press charges. I said no, because I understand, you know, the situation that he's going through. And this is not the first time. They were already trying to put charges on Levi, right? They just didn't have. I was in 4 different incidents with Levi in Michigan, right? And each time they asked me if I wanted to press charges, when Levi punched me in the face, I said, no, I'm not pressing charges on him. He's an autistic kid. I want to see him better. I want to see him, you know, helped. I'm not pressing charges on him so y'all can just put him in incarceration, right? Levi has an education beyond the 5th grade. What are you talking about? Levi literally fucking takes stuff apart in the garage and put them back together. Like literally mechanic stuff like that. He would take, like, he had a moped. He would take stuff off the lawnmower, all types of stuff. They asked Levi if he wanted to press charges as well. I'm not sure if they, I think they did. I'm not sure if they asked Levi I'm not sure what they asked Levi, because Levi was in the back of the cruiser. You know, when they dropped him off, the police dropped him off at the hospital. So I'm not sure what Levi, you know, said. I'm not sure if what they asked him. I'm not sure what they asked him. I'm not sure what story he told them. I wasn't there when Levi told the story. And Levi is very smart. You know, Levi is very smart. Levi games. Levi played a game. Levi is very smart. He's just smart in the way that he's smart. He's not, you know, and he has a higher education. He was on the way to graduate school this year. If he would have finished up his classes and stuff, he would have graduated this year. So he doesn't have a 5th grade education. That's fucked up to say. But I want y'all to think about this. Everything that I'm saying, you're not responding to the stuff that I'm saying. You're just changing the goalpost. You get what I'm saying? So everything that I'm defending against or everything that I'm speaking up on, as soon as you realize that it's false, you change the goalpost. No, I'm talking about 5th grade when it comes to common sense, dealing with people, his social cues. His social cues. I'm not talking about learning wise. I'm talking about his social cues. When dealing with Levi, it's more so because he don't take the same social cues. It's more so talking to like a 5th grader. You got to be very specific when you're talking to Levi. So you trying to make it seem like you want it. Education and street smarts, all these different ways of learning is different, right? So when it comes to social, right? A social education, what grade level is he socially, right? Socially, he's got a 5th grade social education. Levi is very, very intelligent in his way. When it comes to like taking stuff apart, he'll take the lawnmower apart, put it back together. He'll, he'll go out there and mess with a bunch of different stuff. He could do stuff, but we're not taking away from the situation. The situation is the lies. You made it seem like this boy was incapable of nothing when it came to his mom and shaming him, right? It was like, oh, you left this autistic kid there. This is how many times their story changed, right? The first story she told was, you left this autistic kid there, so on and so forth, right? Now it's whether or not, oh, is Levi really spectrum? Now it's a different story. Now is Levi really spectrum and his mom's been using him for labor this whole time? First it was, you left an autistic kid there, right? Trying to make it seem like she left a child there instead of a young adult, right? And then she tried to make it seem like she was using Levi for labor. Like, oh, she works Levi, right? Their lies keep changing. Their lies just keep changing. Nobody's calling them out on the fucking lies that's changing constantly. She changed up the story 3 times already and then try to say she's too busy to cover the story. Okay, don't cover the fucking story then. If you so busy and you got so much other shit to talk about, then why are you still talking shit about this story? You covered it and now you want to be done with it because the truth about to come out and prove you to be wrong. So now it's, I'm over this already. I said what I said. Yes, that's very narcissistic of you to try to make it seem like you done with it and you said what you said and that's the end all be all. That's very narcissistic of somebody to try to make their end all be all the end all be all. The message thread is altered. Why don't you go into the Discord and look at the real message thread? Why are you looking at a message thread that she literally put in the order that she wanted to put in? The timeline she put it in is backwards. The timeline that she's putting out there is a misconstrued timeline of the messages. She put them in the order that benefits her storyline. She didn't put them in the proper order. She put them in the order that she can benefit from and misconstrued it, you know. But hey, her receipts is her receipts. Those are the receipts that she accumulating. And that's probably why she's like a whole month and a half behind. It's because she's going back at false shit. She's not giving you the updates or the real. She's going back a whole month. She's not even updating you on the content creator. I want you to think about that. She's not updating you on the content creator that she's talking about. She's not updating you on me. She's not telling you, oh, Ralph got his ass up out of there. He is now da-da-da-da-da. He took his kids here. Like, she's not telling you none of that. She focused on that. And she's using that situation to try to tear me down. That's what she's focused on. Why? That's all I'm saying. And then say it wasn't a business agreement, say there's no business agreement there, when we literally put up all these documents to show that it was, right? We literally kept track of everything to prove that it was a business arrangement, right? We literally show everything, who did what, at what time, so on and so forth, to keep track of everything, right? That's why I say, like, it's all messed up. See? Look at April 23rd. How's my friend doing today? Great. Well, that's good. Painting. How many have you done? One. Good morning, little lady. Right? Conversation good. Not showing this stuff. See? This is the part of the conversation where it says, my internet is on. You have to do like the rest of us, the world, and pay for the internet. After I eat and take my meds, I will be down there to work in the pantry, right? Then she said, you will need to be accompanied by the officer to come into my space, right? And then she said, then he says this, I'll gladly inform you that stealing my mail is a federal offense, right? I do not know what you're talking about, right? Right here. trying to make it seem like she was stealing his mail, right? Why she cut the conversation off at this point right here, right? And didn't give you this part right here, right? She cut the conversation off right here and didn't give you this other part, right? Because she's picking and choosing how she wants to tell the story, right? She's picking and choosing how she wants to paint the narrative of the story. And like I said, this was the conversation about the internet, right? Look, did you call about the internet? All of us working on that one is not working. This is where the money comes in at. When I give him the money to up his internet service, so on and so forth, to accommodate for everybody using it, right? See? I thought you were going to call and see how much it would be for me to add on yours, because that's what he was saying. When we called the internet provider, they said it'd be 6 months for us to get a line out there, right? So we told him, like, all right, I'm just giving you the money for the internet and you up your service. But at the same time, I want the T-Mobile, right? At the same time, I want the T-Mobile and got internet boxes. This is the internet box that I got when I was there, right? Went and got the fucking internet from T-Mobile. Literally. Went and got the internet. Right? So literally, I wasn't even on his internet line. I was telling her to go get this internet before I even got there. Went and got the internet service, and still was trying to tell him to, look, we're going to give you excess amount of money to up your service. The money I gave him was not for rent. It was to help with the bills for the accumulation of the people being there. So the 200 and the 250 I gave him was not for rent. I was not there paying rent. I wouldn't give money up for rent. I'm not there to pay rent. So I'm giving him 200 and 250 to accommodate for the electric that we might be using, whatever internet we might be using, right? The water, right? Because I got mines and mine with me. So I'm covering us. Here you go. I wasn't giving him fucking rent money. 200 and 250 was not for fucking rent money. I was there working, but I had my kids there. So I'm like, here's 200. This was when the internet conversation, here's 200, right? And then when with the electric and the water, I'm like, here's 250. So she's telling him that I'm gonna give him more, right? Because I'm making sure that I'm not a burden, That's why when I got there, I started making the food, taking him food, seeing if he wanted to come down and eat. Right? She's not telling you about how I acted when I got there. Right? She's not telling you about how I made sure that I paid my own way when I got there. When we got there with ours, my son's still helping me, trying to. I'm looking for him to get the stuff for the greenhouse. Start showing us what we got to do to put the greenhouse back together. Whatever the case may be, he didn't do none of that. He didn't do none of that. I paid my way while I was there. Gave up the $200 and the $250 for any bills that might come in while I was there. $450 for somebody to only be there for 3 fucking weeks. And y'all sitting there trying to make it seem like I did him wrong. $450 and $200 for a fucking weed eater. And I was only there for 3 weeks. For 3 fucking weeks. Y'all trying to make it seem like I was living there for 2-3 fucking months. I gave him. No, that's not what he asked her for. That's not what he asked her for. He asked her for bills, for bill money, right? She said, I'm not going to pay my bills and yours, right? Bills, not rent. Y'all keep seeing it how y'all want to see it because somebody told y'all the story how they wanted to tell y'all the story. Right? Because they want to tell y'all the story how they want to tell y'all the story. He said bills. Look at it. Look at it again. Where does it say rent? Help towards bills. Bills. $200 and $250, that helps towards bills. See? Y'all keep on trying to switch it to rent because she gave y'all a fucked up order of the truth. She gave y'all the order that she wanted to see fit of the truth. Right here. Understand. Do you think we can borrow a mower from one of the farmer friends because this is when the lawnmower was broken? No, at that time when he said real money, right? He said real money. He was talking about the work, right? Real money. Then this is when the 250 came. At that time, this is when the 200 and the 250 came at that time. When he said he wanted to see real money, because he wasn't trying to do the retreats out there. So when he said he wanted to see real money, it's because he wanted to see real money come from the operation that we were providing. She was already supposed to sell lamb meat for him, so on and so forth. Right? He already was talking about, he was already in debt. The people who came out there for the hay, he was in debt, right? We didn't know all of this. We started finding out all of this after I got out there. I found out all of this. I found out that his propane tank was empty and he owed them $1,600. I found out that he owed the hay man some money from last season, right? I found out that he was $20,000 in back taxes for the last 2 years on the farm. I didn't find out all of that shit until I got there. That's why I stopped promoting it. Like, yo, what the fuck? Bro, it sounds like you, like, and then when the realtor came out, I'm like, yo, he's selling the place. How am I supposed to promote Save the Farm if he's selling it? Show me. Show me where he kept asking for money after we gave him the 250. No, he was more so saying, I just want to see you, I just want him to tell you to fuck off, or I just want to see you tell him to fuck off, and all of this other shit. Even the more recent messages was more so on the line of more so talking shit to her and talking about her and so on and so forth. Even the most recent messages that he sent doesn't have anything to do with money, and he's not saying anything about money. Right? Talking about, man. And then let's look at this.
But he said we stole it, so just so we're clear.
See, right there, the police is out there. We telling them like, yo, they came and got the safe. They put the safe in the car. The police. I said, this is the same safe that he's trying to say that we stole, right? I'm telling the police, this is the same safe, and they just pulled off with the safe that he's telling y'all that we stole. The police say, well, obviously you didn't steal it. It's their safe.
His keys or his wallet.
He trying to get me to get off the internet. The cop trying to get me to get off the internet. You're talking to your followers right now. I need you to get off of there and talk to me. Listen.
Why? Yeah, I'm not being protected at all. At all. Even if it wasn't just. Stop.
I ain't got to work harder to keep the truth. The truth is right there. Y'all got to work harder to see it because y'all don't want to see the truth. I don't got to work harder. That's why I sit and chill and play video games. Y'all the ones that got to work harder. I could sit and play video games. I could chill. Y'all got to work harder to try to prove y'all lies. Why you think I could sit and play video games? Because all I got to do is speak about the truth and leave that shit there. Go play video games after that. Y'all got to work hard for the lies. Why you think Danny said, don't think you won. Don't think you won, because this is about wins and losses to her. This ain't about life and somebody's real life. It's about wins and losses. Don't think you won. Don't think you won. But like I said, y'all got to tell the story how y'all want to tell the story, and that's cool. I get it. You know, I can point out a lot different his mom works for housing authority. All he had to do was, you know, tell his mom. His family didn't even know that they were out there. Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into all of that. I'm gonna just let the court take care of it, like they say. I ain't really gonna get into the details of all of that, of how he, you know, used the last woman that was out there. I ain't even gonna get into details of all of that. We just gonna let, you know, the court, and when the paperwork start coming out and everything start coming out, we're just gonna provide y'all with the truth of all of that. I ain't really tripping. Like y'all said, I asked her for this. So you right. I asked her for this. I asked her to try to defame my character and put a bad image on me and all of that. I asked for that. So I'm dealing with it. Can't be mad at how I'm dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? Can't be mad at how I'm dealing with it if y'all say I asked for it. If I asked for it, then I should be able to deal with it accordingly. But hey, nevertheless, love is love. We gonna keep pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. She do. Man, we've been over this so many times. She's a whole month behind, trying to make up the excuse of why she's a whole month behind. We done been out of that man's house and everything, so on and so forth, but she's still trying to make us seem like we did something fucked up. No, that man trapped her in a residential and manager thing. Like she's literally on his farm as a manager of the website and everything. But oh no, let's not look at those documents. It tells you, she said it in the message. Hey, I sent you an email. This was the land management contract email that I have her sent, right? Because, outside of all of this, we are still a business. Outside of all of this, we still a business. So we got to conduct ourselves like a business. So we have to have all the proper paperwork, all the documents, all the receipts, so we can file it on taxes, right? So we got to keep a receipt of like the weed eater, the food that we spent. The money that we spent for food, all of that stuff. We got to have those as receipts for the business when you file taxes. So everything that we did, we were very business oriented with everything that we did. The only thing we did a little bit differently was because that she knew him, I was a little bit more lenient on going out there before I had the contract signed, right? Because I'm thinking, okay, you knew him for this long, this is a family friend, whatever the case may be. All right, cool. That's why I was like, before I got out there, I'm like, yeah, send him the contract, see if he signed it. But then he tried to act like he was going through so much. I'm like, all right, maybe he's stressed out. I kept on making excuses for him. Like, all right, he got court. He got the probation officer to check in with. He don't know if he going to be out on the streets or going to jail. And I could see his stress. You know what I'm saying? I could see why he's stressing. But as shit kept getting weirder, and then, like I said, you had the whole situation with the Facebook thing. He was talking to people on Facebook as he was doing whatever he was doing. He was like, yeah, I told y'all we do it this way, and all you gotta do is rile him up and da-da-da-da-da. And come on. You sitting there saying it's a landlord-tenant situation, but then you turn around and scream, and let's talk about you chasing a kid. And cut it out, Danny Robinson. Cut it out. Cut it the fuck out. You got the right to look up paperwork, like you said. If you say that you can look up paperwork, like you said, Danny Robinson, then why you didn't pull up the paperwork where the police was called on Levi multiple times, where he done insulted me and I done let it slide and so on and so forth. If you say Levi was right about one thing, he did try to fight me many times. Levi tried to fight me many a times, but he tried to make it seem like I tried to fight him. No, I never tried to fight him. I stepped in the way when he was trying to run all over his mom. In fact, I saved Levi's girlfriend from committing suicide when he went to when he was with his girlfriend one time. Literally had to go up to the hotel and save her from doing that. Okay. I don't care. If she wanted to focus on that, she wouldn't have had a conversation about me yesterday. If y'all saying that that's what y'all was focused on, then I wouldn't have been in y'all lineup of conversations yesterday. The shit with me happened a month and a fucking half ago. But if y'all wanted to focus on Ada, y'all would have been talking about Ada right now. If y'all wanted to focus on the shit that y'all was focused on, y'all would have been talking about that right now. It doesn't make no sense for you to sit there, put me in your conversation, talk shit about Shar, call her bitches and all types of shit, and then try to play and be like, I was rooting for you. Man, get the fuck out of here. Y'all are so fake. Y'all don't even know what real is like anymore. That's how long y'all been fake for. Y'all been fake for so long, y'all don't even know what real is like. It doesn't even make sense, because I want you to think about it. We went back to talking about moon stars and quasars. We back to doing interviews on TikTok again. Yeah, I get online yesterday and somebody's having a whole conversation about me, something that happened a month ago. But then y'all want to make it seem like y'all the ones trying to move on. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You're going to keep on bringing somebody up and then make it seem like y'all got more important shit to talk about. Okay, so talk about the more important shit then. What you see me do time and time again. See how you changing the goalposts again? See how every time I speak about something about y'all justify it by trying to say I did the same thing? What you see me do from time and time again? Talk about people? Because if I'm not mistaken, yesterday we did a live about Trump and everything that's going on with DC. We literally talked about the shit that's going on with the McDonald's person. Like, where you see me put somebody in my title? Where you see me put somebody in my title? Where you see me try to use somebody for a clout chase? I don't care if you said, I said what I said. This comes from me. I said nobody else. But look at what you said. Go back up to what you said. It said, now look, now you're coming with an I type scenario. But in the message earlier, you said, Ralph, love is not love if you call us liars. That right there means that there's a we involved, because you said if you call us liars, right? This is the gaslighting shit that y'all do, right? Then you said you involved us. There you go. Speaking of a group again, right? Then you said we prefer to concentrate on Quiet Storm and Ada. There you go again. We, right? But now you switching it up and saying that you're speaking from an I perspective. You put a sentence in there where you say us, and we, and then you turn around and say you're just speaking for yourself. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You a lie and the truth ain't in you. That's why you switched up your lie that quick. Y'all trying to make up lies on the spot. First it was us, we, and then it was I. Shut up. Shut up. Us, we, and then that shit turned into an I. You should have just left. You should have just left without saying anything. You could have did that. Nobody even would have knew your presence was here or there. You could have just left. You ain't have to try to put, I got a brother like you. Okay, I don't know your brother, so therefore I don't know the traits of your brother, so I can't be acting like your brother. You can only perceive people to be acting like your brother because you see your brother in everybody. But I don't know your brother to act like your brother, so I can't be exhibiting, traits of your brother. I can only be exhibiting traits of myself, but you perceive it to be of your brother because your real fight is with your brother, not me. But it's okay. You feel like by fighting me, you get a victory over your brother. I get it. You feel like by combating me, you're beating your brother. I get it. Yeah, it makes sense now. Your real fight is not with me. Your real fight is with your brother. All right, love is love. Namaste. Ashe. Salutations. Remember, if nobody told you that they love you today, let me be the first and not the last to tell you that I love you. Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. I mean, we could stick around for longer. I guess I'm gonna play the game. Y'all know that's what I do. That's what they seem to be attacking. The fact that I play the game, not the knowledge that I'm putting out there, but the fact that I play the game. You play that video game all day. You sit around and play the Are you mad because you don't have the time to play the game all day? Are you upset with me because I got time to play the game all day? Shit. Well, you worried about what somebody else do with their free time. Make that shit make sense. That I gotta be conformed in the idea that you want me to be in. Huh? No, this is not love. This is a conversation. Conversations don't come with love, I don't think. A conversation comes with understanding or understanding. When you understand or understand something, it doesn't have to come with love. It comes with facts and merits and truth, right? So you can't say a conversation is based off of love. That's like saying, always talk to me nice. Somebody's got to always talk to you nice in order for you to see love, in order for you to think it's love. That's what you telling me? That's not love. That's called lust. That's called seduction. That's not love. Love is when I care about you enough to tell you the truth. Love is when I care about you enough to tell you about yourself. Love is when I care about you enough to tell you when you're wrong. Y'all don't know unconditional love. Stop coming in here making it seem like y'all know what the fuck love is. No, you have an idea of your perception of love. And your perception of love is somebody always talking to you nice, always agreeing with you, right? Do these pants make me look fat? No, they don't. You look gorgeous. Thank you. I knew you loved me. That's what the fuck you think love is. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. That's a feeling. That means somebody got to cater to your feelings in order for you to feel that they love you. That don't logically make sense. Love don't always cater to your feelings and emotions. That's called lust. So get the idea of lust out of your head and stop thinking that lust is love, because it's not. You want to sit there and this is not love. This doesn't feel like love. Some of y'all don't even know what love feel like. Somebody told you in the 5th grade, when a boy hit you, that mean they like you. So some of y'all get ass whoopings and think he only beat you because he loves you. Some of y'all in relationships right now with fucked up misconceptions of love. I love him because he provides everything for me. I love him because he does everything for me. I love him because he buys me shit. Come on, man. Y'all don't know what the fuck love is. Cut it out. Sit here and try to tell me what the fuck love is. This doesn't feel like love. Namaste. Namaste. The God in me recognizing the God in you. Namaste. Triggs, what's going on with you? Hey, can you hear me? It's okay, guys. It's okay. Let them in. Let the negative in.
Here?
Yeah. I can hear you now. What's good with you? Oh, your mic is in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hold on, let me switch my headset. Yeah, I can hear you now. Your mine. Your mine? All right. There you go. I can hear you now. What's good with you, though? I know that's right. Some laptops? Yeah, we're gonna sit here and play the game because that's what we do. They just mad. They can't do the shit we do. They mad about it. I got nothing but love for you, baby. And then to try to sit there and say, and Freeman gave me permission to block anybody that's using his content. What the fuck? Shut up. Shut up. Talking about I'm not on nobody's side, but you gonna block anybody that's talking about Freeman. Get the fuck out of here. Weird ass shit. I'm not on anybody's side, but Freeman told me that I can. Sounds like. Sir, bring me that. I don't want nobody to tell that side of the story. Let's be clear. Let's speak clear. Nobody better not speak about the other side of this story. But try to lie to me and tell me they was rooting for me. No, you wasn't. You wouldn't have been so quick to believe the lie. If you was rooting for somebody, you wouldn't have been so quick to believe the lie. A lot of y'all are so fake. Y'all sit there and lie. I was rooting for you. I was hoping that you... No. You believed that lie because that's what you wanted to believe. You wanted to believe the lie before the truth. Hey, yo, who got a mic? He took off somewhere. Where'd he go? Yeah, chemical engineering. Bro, how is my team right there and this dude walk right past my team? Oh my God, bro. Not if you following somebody already. If you following them already, then you already see everything that they up to. You don't need somebody to make up a lie on a person that you already following. If you already see their journey, then you already see the truth. You don't need somebody to come up with a lie and then you try to debunk that lie. I mean, I understand getting clarity on a situation or giving clarity or, wanting the person that you support to give clarity on it. But you yourself should already know the truth. You should just want that person to give clarity to everybody else. But you yourself should already know the truth if you've been following that person's story. Prison, is that prison rooftop? I got you. Where you at? Where you at? Prison rooftop. Where y'all trying to go? No way. Where they snipe me from? Oh, prison, second floor window. Listen, I know that bro, where'd that dude go with my damn sniper? Bro, you crept around that corner so smooth, you little creeper. Yeah, talk to him. Get that one that just right by you. Right there, right there. He right there upstairs. He is on the step with you, Glock.
Are you going back to the roof? I got him. I got him. Oh, that's the window. Prison steps. Prison steps. Never mind. I'm coming over where y'all at. Two of them, on me. Yeah, we not moving as a team. I don't know what else they want us to exploit, or what else part of our, life they want to. Let them tell the story. They tell it great. I like how they tell the story. Glock. Bro, get away from that. Get away from that claymore. It's gonna blow you up. Trig, get away from that claymore. It's gonna blow you up. Ain't there a claymore right up under you? It's gonna blow you up if they trigger it. Damn. Alright.
I'm coming back for good, so let them niggas know it's mine. Already got someone, that's what you tell them every time. That shit ain't up for grabs. Where you at on the map? Fuck around and end up your last, I won't hold back. You still feel the same way. Don't say the same things, you never change. Oh, why? Help me get my shit together and think it through. Nigga just sitting here not knowing what to do. Think about who's out there touching you and who's out there fucking you, girl. I'm so different. I ain't like them other niggas. Nothing like them other niggas. True, It's about time I do it. It's about time I say this shit. Spend a lot of time on the waiting list. Roll up the dozer and blaze that shit. Who gonna keep it real girl the same as this? Aching, girl, I bring that shit. Keeping real ever since. I know you be convinced. I know you ain't having second chance in a minute. It's clearly not broken. It's just so unfinished. I feel like my new bitch was just here with Prentice and we just got into it. Here comes the ending. You said this shit would happen, girl. That was your prediction. You said I'd never find a one like you, and I should have listened. Who you fucking with now? Is it any of my business? Whoever it is may not be finished. Yo, y'all got a mic? You gotta tell him. Sometimes you gotta tell him. I'm coming back for sure, so let them niggas know it's mine. Already got someone, that's what you tell them every time. You know what I'm saying? Listen. You can borrow her, but she belongs to me. Nah. you could borrow her, but she belongs to me. Oh shit. Bro, we getting kicked? What the fuck was that? I just moonslide across the whole map. Let me put this UAV up for y'all before they kick me out. Don't run now. You started shooting. Yeah, get their ass. Did you get them? Yeah. Yeah, I ain't put up another UAV for y'all. You see the dude by the motorcycle going up the steps? He's in the back. He's in the back. Bro, they behind us, behind us. Damn, you should have marked them on the map. I love it. It could have been you. It could have been me. It could have been LOVE. It could have been love. It could have been everywhere. Then we stayed over there too long. Niggas done closed in from everywhere on us. No way. I thought I played it up 2 times. I slid before my plates was up. Shit. Bro. Go land on the loading. Nah, don't land over there. It's a team landing over there. It's a whole team over there. Just told your ass not to land over here. Y'all is cooked. Y'all cooked. I'm going to loading. That's what you get for coming back, you thirster. Yeah, you lucky I ain't had no plates. The lizard thirst me. 3. He said 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. They coming for y'all. They coming for y'all. Coming from prison. Look at the rooftop. Yo, Lodi clear, Lodi clear. Nah, he coming, he coming. Man, that gun's terrible. Way to stay hidden. Way to stay hidden. Oh, he jumped in through the middle. And when the truth came in and the truth came out, they just didn't know what to say. Damn, ain't no buybacks. Bro, put that shit on factory. They coming, they coming. Behind you. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Damn. I thought you heard him. I thought you heard the footsteps behind you. The streams are about to stress you out today. Not today. It is what it is. Losses and victories. Oh yeah, we dropping bodies. I was just about to say that same thing. I'm losing my mind. I know you is I love, but I also know you I don't like. That motherfucker was talking in that shit. You claim you helped who I was. Is that the reason you here now? I ain't afraid to say I got needs. That's why you gotta be on your Chris Brown shit. You know what I'm saying? And let me introduce you to my new flame. Oh, you gotta be on your Justin Bieber shit. My mama don't like you and she likes everyone. I never like to admit that I was wrong. But I've been so caught up, I know, right? Since he wanna try to be smart. And I've been so caught up in my job, didn't see what's going on, but now I know that I'm not sleeping all alone. Right. You want me to sing some Ariana Grande? Yeah, you know he know that person. Yeah, that's why I'm saying he talking about who's Chris Brown? Shut your ass up. Who's Chris Brown? He know who Chris Brown is. He's just trying to be racist. He's just trying to be racist, trying to be a little white kid that says who's Chris Brown like he don't know who a black artist is. You know what the fuck they do. They play ignorant all the time. Who's Chris Brown? You want me to sing Tennessee Whiskey? You want me to sing some Sam Hunt? I listen to all types of music. You want me to sing some country? Huh? You want me to sing If Heaven Ain't a Lot Like Dixie? Oh, now you mad. See this TikTok? You see how mad they get when you show that they full of bullshit? You prove them to be full of bullshit. That's when they want to try to just tell you to shut up. Now let me guess, he's gonna try to spam my account to try to get me comms banned. That's what they do next. Next step, report. I got six. Let me get this card. Right. Right. When you pick up on a sarcasm and shit. When you pick up on it. Bro, I need 3,000 more. Where y'all at? You better run. Man, you don't remember if you ate last night? What the fuck? I mean, that's when you in the house ducking dishes right there. When you don't know if you ate last night, that's when you in the house ducking dishes. I ain't doing the dishes. I ain't even gonna eat. Look, I'm gonna tell you what to do to avoid any dirty dish, right? You take a piece of plastic and you put it over your plate before you make your plate. And you take a piece of plastic and you put it on your fork, right? That way, as soon as you get done eating, all you gotta do is remove the plastic and put the dish back in the damn cabinet. You just put the plastic on there, that's not dirty, nigga. That's a clean dish. You ate on the plastic, you dumbass. Yeah, it's called being smart. You're not smart, bro. You're not smart at all, bro. No, it's not. Listen. I want you to think about this. I'm literally telling somebody else how to do it, right? I do the dishes in my house, no problem, right? But I'm telling him how to avoid it, right? I'm telling him how to be smart and avoid it, right? So you literally need to do some thinking, bro. I'm trying to tell him how to think outside the box. I ain't telling him how I think because I'm a grown-ass man that do this as my damn self, right? Yeah, of course you didn't know. You don't know a lot of shit. It's probably the motherfucker that's trying to avoid dishes. Probably the motherfucker who said, I didn't even eat last night. Yeah, I had to move away from that. Uh-huh. Where they shooting at you from? I got 3 of them. Where they shooting from? Nah, them shots came low. Right here on me, on roof. No, she was not. I listen. I think she. She might have talked. She might have talked to him about rent at one point because she was trying to get an understanding. She was like, "If you want me to pay the rent, then this is, so and so and so forth." But when she got into the agreement about working and stuff like that, that was later April. She showed May's conversation about rent, but she didn't show April's conversation. But it's okay. You guys can believe what you want. I'm over it already. Like, you guys can perceive it how you want. If you say she was in a landlord-tenant agreement, then, she was in a landlord-tenant agreement. It's not up for me to perceive your reality for you. You have to want to perceive your reality for what it is, not mine or hers, yours. So if you perceive, you want to try to play both sides and make it seem like, oh, Danny's evidence was accurate, then, hey, it was accurate. I can't say nothing about how you perceive the information provided. That's all I'm going to say. Bro, stop chasing the robot. Stop chasing the T2 Terminator, bro. You're not going to catch me. Bro, just stop chasing the robot, bro. Just leave the robot alone. No, I'm not saying you're playing both sides. I'm saying anybody who wants to try to make it seem like both parties are correct in the situation, I'm cool with. No, I'm not stop posting nothing. Damn, I should have went out that door and jumped out the window. If it was a receipt for a rental agreement, where's that receipt for the rental agreement at? Because you can't rent a property that you selling. That's probably why it's not a receipt for that, because nobody's bringing up the fact that he said that the realtor was coming out, so therefore he was selling the property. What type of person will put themselves in a situation where they're renting a space from somebody, and that person is also selling the same space that they're renting? That don't make sense. Nobody wants to bring up the rental part. Y'all don't want to bring up that part because it doesn't, I don't know. Or they don't want to bring it up. Let me rephrase that. But it's okay. Y'all tell the story how y'all want to tell the story. I'm not combating it.
And I've been on the Nintendo Switch, so I'm so the thing. Okay. Yeah. Get back. I think I'm still back in.
You playing Call of Duty on a Nintendo Switch?
No.
Okay.
I heard they got one on the Switch, but
Yep. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure that probably does. So the Switch graphics does.
yeah, I think you might have to buy something. I don't think they were holding up. You probably got to get it. Yeah, exactly like extra charge and such.
Yo, who got Mike? They don't got me in the algorithm. I won't pop up on the For You pages until next Monday. I'm just keeping my hours up. They took me out of recommendation. Y'all going to the tunnel? Yeah, I was getting at least like 2K to 2 to 10K people coming through the live at one point. But I think what it was is like I put it on news because I was talking about a subject, so I put it on news and something, and then I might have went live and played the game while I was on a different topic or something. That's the only thing I could think of. Fucking sniper from the tower got me. I was on rooftop, prison rooftop. I was like, watch the sniper in the tower. Far side, other side of there. Not the water tower, the other tower. He done landed up there. Yeah, he's still up there. What? Bro, it's two of them. I don't care.